Welcome to a new video. In my previous short video, I have told you that I will make videos on the second unit of your education book. So this is the second unit of 12th education, and the chapter we are going to learn today is meaning and nature of learning. This is the sixth chapter of education and first chapter of second unit. So let's start. So in this chapter we are going to learn the concept of learning, various types of learning, the general characteristics of learning, the laws of learning, the concept of learning and maturation, and how learning functions as modification of human behavior. So this video is going to be very detailed. If the video will be so long, then I will make multiple videos to finish this chapter. If multiple videos are made, then I will make all the videos of this chapter and make them a playlist. The name of the playlist will be meaning and nature of learning on the chapter. So let's start the chapter. Okay, first is concept of learning. What is the concept of learning? Earlier view of learning, later view of learning, and recent view of learning are 3 points of concept of learning. To understand the concept of learning, we have to consider the earlier view, the later view, and the recent view. So what is the earlier view of learning? In earlier view of learning, it was thought that teacher is dispenser of information and children are passive absorber of that information, and it was believed that the central nervous system can be developed through experience in much the same way as muscular system. So in earlier view of learning, it was believed or it was thought that teachers are the source of information and the dispenser of information. What is dispenser? The source which throws information towards a direction is called dispenser. Teachers are the dispensers of information and children, students, are the absorber, the passive absorber of the information thrown by the teacher. And it was also thought that the central nervous system, which is responsible for the learning process, for storing knowledge, can be developed by experience as the muscular system. Muscular system can be developed by daily exercise, daily physical experience. And it was thought that the central nervous system also could be developed by experience. It was the earlier view of learning. And the latter view of learning, what the latter view of learning says? Latter view of learning regarded learning as a spatial form of activity in which children responded spatially to particular stimuli in certain prescribed situation. So in latter view of learning, it was thought that learning process is a spatial kind of activity in which children responds spatially to a particular stimuli in a certain prescribed situation. In simple words, at that time it was thought that learning is the is a special activity which takes place when a student in classroom situation gets a stimuli and responds to that stimuli in classroom situation. What is the stimuli? Stimuli is the teacher. That activity was regarded as learning in the latter view of learning. Learning occurs as a result of modification of the synaptic connections of the of neurons, or as a synthetic process of forms of reflex behavior. It is a response by the synaptic connection of neurons, and that response also called modification of neurons. By modification of neurons, this paragraph is saying that it is a response of a child in a classroom situation to the stimuli. The teaching of teacher and the teacher, both are called stimuli here, and the prescribed situation is the classroom. That is called learning process according to the latter view of learning. I think you all are well understood. Then a recent view of learning. What is the recent view of learning? The recent view of learning is based on biological concept. Science is now increased its technology by experiments, by systematic study. Science knew that this is totally biological, and according to the living organism develops the process of individuation from the central nervous system to the peripheral areas. This view of learning is popularly known as organismic purposive theory. So according to the recent view of learning, it occurs in central nervous system. The learning process during the individuation of a child, organism, the learning process is created in central nervous system, and then the consciousness from central nervous system goes to the peripheral areas. The central nervous system commands the peripheral areas. What are the peripheral areas? Arms, legs, hands, feet. What is the central nervous system? Is the where you think, from where your consciousness starts, the central nervous system. The learning process occurs from central nervous system and then it goes to peripheral areas according to the recent view of learning. This theory is called organismic purposive theory. This is very important. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of the whole paragraph and the underlined two words, underlined things. These things will help you in exam. Then I think you all are well understood about the recent view of learning. If not, then comment and I will try to solve your doubts. Then learning defined. In this paragraph we will learn, not paragraph, set of paragraphs. We will know what many thinkers, many authors think about learning, what they define learning as. So first, Mon. In Mon's view, learning is more or less permanent incremental modification of a behavior which results from activity, spatial training, and observation. So Mon said that learning is more or less permanent and it is a result of activity, spatial training, and observation. This is Mon's view. Then second, the view of Crow and Crow. According to Crow and Crow, learning involves the acquisition of knowledge, habits, and attitudes. Acquisition of knowledge. What is knowledge? Information, experience, all are including all these things, knowledge takes place. So what is knowledge? Knowledge is your daily experience, your what you get from the outside world is called knowledge basically. So in the view of Crow and Crow, learning involves the acquisition of knowledge, habits, and attitudes. How you make yourself, what kind of habits you set within you. These all things are called learning. If you make a set using all three things, you will get the whole learning process within you. Simply explained. So I think you are well understood the view of Crow and Crow. Then Skinner's view. According to Skinner, learning is both acquisition and retention. Acquisition means to get knowledge, to acquire knowledge from everywhere, and retention means to retain that knowledge within you, not let them to just flow from you, flow away from you, but to retain them, to retain within you. So according to Skinner, learning is both acquisition and retention of knowledge. Then 4, view of Gates. Gates said that learning is modification of behavior through experience. Take a screenshot. Then Gates said that learning is modification of behavior through experience. These views are very important. These views can come in question in exam surely, because these all are 1 number question, or it can come in 3 number. The question which will give you 3 number, you have to explain like this. If the question will come, what is the view of Gates for learning process? So according to Gates, learning is modification of behavior through experience. This is the answer of 1 mark question. 3 mark question, you have to elaborate 1 or 2 lines. In 3 lines you can get 3 numbers. If you write more, that will be a disastrous answer. Okay, so then view of Daniel Bell. Daniel Bell said learning is modification due to energies of organism and the environment impinging on the organism itself. Daniel Bell dragged environment in the learning process. He said that it is the modification in organism and environment impinging on organism itself. Both modification of organism and modification of environment makes the learning process active. That is the view of Daniel Bell. 6. View of Thorpe. Thorpe said that we can define learning as that process which manifests itself by adapting changes in the individual's behavior as a result of experience. It is the result of experience. Thorpe said that learning process is that change in the individual's behavior which changes come in an individual as a result of experience. So Thorpe said that experiences and the change of individuals' behavior are responsible for learning process. 7th, Kimball's view. Kimball said that learning refers to more or less permanent change in behavior which occurs as a result of practice. It is similar to Mann's view. Mann also said that, according to Kimball's view, learning is more or less permanent change in behavior which occurs as a result of practice. Mann said that learning is more or less permanent incremental modification of a behavior which result from activity, spatial training and observation. More or less same view, Mann and Kimball. If the question will come, which two thinkers have more or less same views on learning process? You can answer Kimball and Mann have more or less same views because they both referred learning as more or less permanent change in behavior as a result of practice. Then view of Kingsley and Gary. Kingsley and Gary emphasize that the act of adjustment to environment is the process of learning. These two thinkers said that learning process is the act of adjustment of human to the environment, to the surrounding. That is learning process. According to them, learning is a process by which an organism, in satisfying his motivation, adapts or adjusts to a situation in which it must modify its behavior in order to overcome the obstacles or barriers. To keep going his surviving process, to keep going, to get its motivation. If an organism adapts with the situation, adjusts himself with the situation, that is learning process according to Kingsley and Gary. This is very important view. Kingsley and Gary, take a screenshot. The underlined things will help you in exam surely. So after considering all the views, all the 8 views of learning, we can come to a conclusion that the learning process includes acquisition of new experiences, retention of old experiences in the form of impressions, engrams or skills, development of a modification of experience, synthesis and organization of the old and the new experiences resulting in novel pattern called learning. So first, acquisition of new experience, to acquire new experience within you. Then retention of old experience. What you experienced before, you should retain that. And how you should retain that? As impressions, as skills, and then modification of experiences. Which experiences are useful for you, which experiences you made mistakes in those experiences, to modify those experiences. Then to synthesize the old and new experiences and use them in ground. That is the whole learning process. We knew from the views of these thinkers. Okay. Then concept of learning is over, learning defined is over. Then nature of learning. What is the nature of learning? 20 minutes are over. Nature of learning. The nature of learning. Okay, I will teach you the nature of learning in next video, because there are two types of views in nature of learning uh, by science of psychology and by science of educational psychology. These two types of views are there in nature of learning. Then we will go to types of learning, then general characteristics of learning, then learning and maturation, then learning as modification of behavior. Learning and maturation, I think, can be covered in one video, and types of learning also can be covered. Types of learning and general characteristics of learning can be covered in one video, and this in the next 3 videos I will complete the chapters. Okay, this is one video over. In next 3 videos, totally 4 videos. All the 4 videos I will save them in playlist, and the name of the playlist will be meaning and nature of learning. If you have any doubt after watching the video about concept of learning, then you can ask me in comment section. I will surely try to solve your doubts, and you can join my WhatsApp group. That will help you to get updates and to solve your doubts. You can join my WhatsApp group. If you want to join my WhatsApp group, comment and I will make you joined in my group. Thank you for watching.